Over the last 2 months, we have learned the importance of creating an airtight plan for your future.
And just as important is having a strong, informed, and compassionate partner to see your plans through with you. Not being selected enough can have terrifying consequences. So we have Nicole Young, senior care expert with Zimmermans, here for another edition of Future Care. Hello, Nicole.
Hi.
It's wonderful to have you back. We love having you each week. And tell us, what are some of the things that can go wrong as you are planning for your future?
Well, you know, I hate to say it, but there can be devastating consequences if you choose the wrong person to bring into your life for care and service. Now, I don't want to dwell on the negative, and I don't want to share, scary stories with us during our time, but it's an important topic, and we need to discuss it. And that's why this week's Post-it is going to be, how do I choose the right partner? Because you really need a partner who is going to be an advocate and an ally, who wants to keep you independent. Now, last week we kind of chatted about how seniors think if I need help and I ask for help, I'm going to lose my independence. And we said that's simply not the case. In fact, if you are starting to notice that you do need some services and some help, you're in a position of power. You're in a power position because you will get to choose who the right partner is for your services. If you wait or you let yourself think that maybe my needs will decrease or disappear, that's not going to happen. In fact, needs for seniors will only increase as time goes on. And if you don't take the opportunity to choose the right partner for you, someone else will step in and choose for you, and you do not want that to happen.
And I know, like you said, we're not going to dwell on bad stories, but we are looking at safety or being taken advantage of. These are some of the things that you would have to think about.
Yes, and it's so unfortunate, but it's so very true. Now, if you choose the wrong person to trust for your services, there can, as I said, be devastating effects. And your independence and losing it may be the least of your concerns. Last week we mentioned that on the Zimmermans website we were going to post a link to an article that did an excellent job of explaining exactly what can happen if you choose the wrong person to provide service for you. And we really encouraged everyone to read that article, really understand what can happen. Now, hopefully everybody did, and what we want to start with, the first step in how you prevent those things from happening. The first step is that you need to hire a reputable company who has a history of providing service to the seniors of Tucson. Okay, that's got to be the minimum requirement. And you cannot even entertain the thought of bringing someone into your life for service if they don't meet that requirement.
Exactly. And, in thinking about this, you maybe know somebody in your life who's gone through something similar and they have the people they used, or you're familiar with other organizations or potential partners. Now, why is it so important that you research and maybe don't just go with the familiar, what you already know?
Okay, so we talk about independence a lot, right? We kind of really went over that last week. And although that is an issue that people avoid for getting help, the number one issue is because they just don't want to admit that they need the help. They don't admit it to themselves, they don't admit it to their family. So then they kind of hide it, and it becomes a secret, okay? Secrets are not good. Unless you're planning a surprise party for someone, secrets do no good for anyone. But because seniors will kind of make it a secret, and they want to hide it, what they will do is they will turn to someone they are familiar with, and maybe this person's already providing some type of service for them. And they take this person and they change them into a caregiver. And the reason you don't want to do that is because they're not a caregiver. That is a trained profession. Now, I can tell you that I meet with seniors all the time. And they say this, I hear this, well, I have a housekeeper and she's lovely and I really like her and I've had her clean my home for 10 years and I trust her and she has said that if I need additional services, she can do that for seniors. And I always say, okay, if you have this great lady and you love her, right? She's like a part of your family. She comes every week. Then you should by all means keep her as a housekeeper. You do not turn her into a caregiver. First of all, she's not trained, most likely, as a caregiver. Does she know the proper and safe way to help you in and out of a car? Does she know how to administer medication? And let's say you're like, well, I'm just going to use her for little things, like running to the grocery store or to the doctor. She's one person. What happens if she wakes up one morning and she is sick? Who takes you to your doctor's appointment? Who gets you the prescription you're out of? These are big issues. And if you turn to the wrong person, even if it's someone you trust, you can have the beginning of some pretty significant consequences. You absolutely must choose a reputable company that has a history of serving the seniors of Tucson. You start there, end of story.
And I love that you're saying, you know, we can give as much information here, you know, as we can. And like last week, you guys put an article up and let people kind of do a little bit more research, as you're saying. And even beyond today, you guys are going to continue this conversation on your website because there is so much that people need to go over.
There is. There's so much. As I said last week, we only have so much time here. There's a lot more to discuss. So we want people to go to the website, continue the conversation, get more information, and really stay in control of your life.
I think this is great. Nicole, I love that we have you on each Tuesday so that you can continue also the conversation here as well and get better educated by, like Nicole said, going to zimagent.com and watching the Continue the Conversation video segments. Pin down the characteristics you are truly looking for in a partner from your desktop with Nicole as your guide. And that's zimagent.com, or you can also call Nicole. She's at 531-9051. That's 531-9051.